So we continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 2, text 20. We had begun reading this purport yesterday, so we are continuing with this purport. The soul is full of knowledge. We'll just quickly read for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So the soul is different than the body. The body dies, but the soul continues to live. So the soul is full of knowledge, or full always with consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. Even if one does not find the soul within the heart where he is situated, one can still understand the presence of the soul simply by the presence of consciousness. Sometimes we do not find the sun in the sky owing to clouds or for some other reason, but the light of the sun is always there, and we are convinced that it is there for daytime. As soon as there is a little light in the sky early in the morning, we can understand that the sun is in the sky. Similarly, since there is some consciousness in all bodies, whether man or animal, we can understand the presence of the soul. So we can see sometimes it's a cloudy day, we can't directly see the sun, but still there is the light. Even though we can't see the sun, the light is there, and that's how we know it's daytime. It's not night. So consciousness is there in the bodies of all living entities. So because those are living means there is a soul there. This consciousness of the soul is, however, different from the consciousness of the Supreme, because the Supreme Consciousness is all knowledge, past, present, and future. So here's a distinction between our consciousness and the Supreme Consciousness. Supreme Consciousness has all the knowledge, past, present, and future. The consciousness of the individual soul is prone to be forgetful. When he is forgetful of his real nature, he obtains education and enlightenment from the superior lessons of Krishna. But Krishna is not like the forgetful soul. If so, Krishna's teachings of Bhagavad Gita would be useless. So Krishna knows past, present, and future. He does not forget anything. But we, the individual soul, we forget. And then because we forget, then we need to get knowledge from Krishna's instructions. We need to hear from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is never forgetful. If he was forgetful, why are we hearing from him then? Why we are reading Bhagavad Gita then? It would be no meaning. But Bhagavad Gita is an authority. It's an authority. So there are two kinds of souls, namely the minute particle, Anuatma, and the super soul, Vibhuatma. This is also confirmed in Katha Upanishad 1.2.20 in this way. So Anor Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Asya Jantor Nihito Guhayam Tam Akruta Pashyati Vita Shoko Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Atmanaha. Both the super soul, Paramatma, and the atomic soul, Jivatma, are situated on the same tree of the body, within the same heart of the living being. And only one who has become free from all material desires, as well as lamentations, can, by the grace of the Supreme, understand the glories of the soul. So Katha Upanishad, it says that there are two souls. There is a minute particle soul, the Anuatma, that's us. And there's the super soul, the Vibhuatma. That is Krishna. That's the Paramatma. So both the super soul and the soul, means the Jivatma and the Paramatma, we are sitting in the same heart next to each other. The example is given. There's a tree and there are two birds sitting on the tree. There are two birds. So similarly, we in our heart, there are two. One is the soul, that is us, and next to us is the super soul, the Paramatma. And then How do we understand the glories of the soul? Only one who has become free from all material desires. So giving up all material desires, and then as well as lamentations. We are always lamenting. Oh, I should have done this. I shouldn't have done this. Oh, why did I do this? Why did this happen? Why did he did this? Or why did she did this? We're always lamenting. But in order to understand the soul, we need to get free from these lamentations. Krishna is the fountainhead of the super soul also, as it will be disclosed in the following chapters. And Arjuna is the atomic soul, forgetful of his real nature. Therefore, he requires to be enlightened by Krishna or by his bona fide representative, the spiritual master. So we are this atomic soul. We are the forgetful soul who have forgotten our real nature. What's our real identity? Who are we? What's our eternal, who are we eternally, not these changing bodies, but in truth, who am I? We have forgotten that. And then how do we get that information? We get it from Krishna. He is the original spiritual master. Krishna is the original spiritual master because he's the one who speaks the Vedas, the knowledge. And we can be enlightened by his bona fide representative, somebody who has been authorized by Krishna. Somebody who's authorized by Krishna to teach about Krishna. Like when we go to a education university, then we have to see, is this university authorized by the Board of Education or no? Or is it just somebody says, okay, I've started a university, come to me, I will teach you. But is it authorized? Even if we spend 10 years there, then if it's not recognized by the Board of Education, then all that time is wasted. So the bona fide spiritual master means one who is authorized by Krishna to do the work of the spiritual master. He's authorized to take us back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, any questions or comments?
So this Anu means small?
Yeah.
And the Vibhu means big, is it?
Yeah. Anu, we are tiny. Anu, we are very tiny, infinitesimal, insignificant. And Vibhu, he is the greatest. That's the Lord. And so we are the Anu, and the Lord is the Vibhu. Yeah. And we can never ever become Vibhu. We can never become the super soul. The only thing we have to do is try to understand our original identity. Okay, I'm the soul. So then I need to engage in the duties of the soul. And so that is devotional service. And then when we engage in devotional service, then we'll get the goal. Goal is love of God, and we will be situated in our original position. That is true self-realization. That is actually self-realization. Understanding our part, ourself as part and parcel of Krishna, that is self-realization. So we'll stop here for today. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining in today morning. Thank you.